Happy Friday to everybody. Let me get the thing started here. So, you might be asking yourself, why did Scott not post more videos today? Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. One, um, you ever see when franchises, for example, well, there was this restaurant called Pollo Tropical. I don't know if I said that right. Tropical? Whatever. It's this chicken place. It was alright. But they opened all over the place. I mean, they opened a ton of locations all at once. Uh, More relatable example would be Krispy Kreme. Those of us in the Texas area might remember that Krispy Kreme exploded at one point. It was Krispy Kremes everywhere. It was just donuts, it was swimming in donuts. Not to complain about that one. Um, well, sometimes when a franchise grows a little too fast, it crashes and burns. And what I was realizing is maybe 3 videos a day was a little too much at my particular level. So, one change I would like to make is that I'm only going to post 1 video a day. And the second change I'm going to make is I realize that 5 minutes is pretty short. I mean, it's not too short, but it's a little short to try and fit a full thought into. Like the thought I had yesterday about we're not haters, I thought that one felt a little rushed. I thought it was a good message. The two of you that watched it, just kidding. There's a few more that watched it, but it didn't really get the traction I thought it would. Maybe because it wasn't fully explained, and maybe at another time I'll do more on that topic. But I just didn't feel. I thought it was rushed, and so instead of 5 minute walks, I'm gonna do 10 minute walks because 10 minutes is still pretty dang manageable. I think we can fit that in pretty much anywhere. And I also believe that, like I said, one a day I think is a better idea. So I'm going to start with that. Leave the audience wanting more, so to speak. Before I move on, I'd like to recognize our sponsor today, Hutchins Barbecue. They are the sponsor because if I didn't eat so much of Hutchins Barbecue, I wouldn't have to be on a treadmill. You know what I'm saying? Hutchins is, they're not actually a paid sponsor. I'm just making that up. But again, call me. They're a really good barbecue place here in Texas that is just amazing. So, yeah, they're part of the reason I'm here on this treadmill. Worth it. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about today, a little bit more of a topic, is tell you a story. When my boys were younger, and actually my current son now, current son, that makes a lot of sense. With my sons in general, boys like to fall down. They like to beat themselves up. They like to do, I'm just going to say in general, really dumb things. And for example, my third son, he's at college, and just today he let me know that the battery backup for his phone isn't working for him. And he sent me a picture of it, and it is mangled. I mean, it was all kinds of murfed up. And so I asked him the question, which I've asked all my boys several times in their lives. Did you learn anything? Now, some dads get really angry, and I've had my my moments. Some dads just laugh it off, shake their head. My approach to any time a boy does something really stupid that isn't really hurting anybody except himself is I say, did you learn anything? Now, why am I telling this story? Well, the reason I'm telling that story is because I was pretty bummed out this morning. I didn't necessarily do anything stupid, but I mentioned before that I'm a perfectionist. And so I just felt this morning and really last night kind of disappointed. And sometimes I get really easily, having trouble thinking of the word right now, but sometimes I get really discouraged, is the word I was looking for, easily a lot of times, when things don't pan out exactly how I envision them to pan out. And so when the video I did yesterday didn't get thousands of views, like that matters in life, I was just kind of bummed, and I started actually even considering not doing this anymore, or doing it and just not caring. And you know, we can get into depression, all that kind of fun stuff, some other walk, but the gist was I was bummed out. And got to about lunchtime and realized I hadn't really eaten much, and I said, well, I ought to make myself something. And so I made a nice green smoothie. Another non-paid sponsor would be Vitamix blenders. If you ever have the opportunity to get yourself one of those, I highly recommend it. I've become the smoothie master. Maybe I'll do that as another channel and do smoothie recipes. Anyway, I made myself a nice green smoothie and started feeling better. And then I remembered what I used to always say to my sons is what'd you learn? And so I started thinking about what I learned from the past couple of days and doing this. And this is only our third day doing this, folks. I mean, Rome was not built in a day, and neither was their YouTube channel. Does Rome have a YouTube? That's a bad joke. My point is that I started thinking about the stuff I learned and thought of ways to fix it versus just, I quit. You know, it's not worth it. And it's not perfect, so, you know, why even bother? I just, that really made me feel better. And then I also started thinking about, I saw a really good video today on YouTube. There's a YouTuber named Anna Akana. And she talks a lot about overcoming obstacles and depression and things like that. And she did this really good video about a week ago about wanting to die. I mean, she's been through some rough times. And then, you know what was interesting is on the same day I saw this video, Steven Crowder, Louder with Crowder, put out his Thursday night show. He does that every Friday, and then he was talking about how people say they just can't take one more thing. They just get to the end, they can't take one more thing. And he said the good news is that you can. Now, I wasn't at that level, but I was certainly thinking about quitting and you know, maybe letting the channel die, not myself, but you know, letting the effort die out, and remembering, hearing those things, and also thinking about how I could fix it and what did I learn, just gave me a little more pep and helped me decide to go ahead and keep going. And so I appreciate those who have watched already and have subscribed. I'm going to keep doing this. We're going to do a 10-minute walk once a day. I appreciate any feedback that you could give me, any comments down below, suggestions for topics. For example, I did think of doing an album review of the new Disturbed album. For those of you who are rock fans, Disturbed, who did the remake of Sound of Silence last year. Last year or this year? That might have been this year, actually. But yeah, just this beautiful remake of that song, and they came out with a new album today. I listen to it on Spotify. Highly recommend it. And look at that. We are at 10 minutes. So 10 minutes isn't much harder than 5 minutes, but I do feel a little more exercised. Go ahead and stop the treadmill. Please like this video, subscribe if you're interested. Please share it with those people that can use a little pick-me-up in their day and a little exercise. Y'all can afford 10 minutes to a day. Come on this journey with me. We'll see you next time.